Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Claire Francis. Today we're going to talk about summer colour trends and how to wear them. Admittedly today it's not a very sunny day, it's actually windy and wet here in Dorset, but we're going to try and think back to those nice days that we've had recently and forward to hopefully some nice weather during the summer. And we're going to look at all those colours that are in the shops at the moment, seem to be on trend, and how to wear them more importantly, because we don't necessarily want to be head to toe in certain colours and things. So I'm going to give you some ideas of the best ways to wear those colours. So hopefully you'll enjoy the video. Let's go. So the first colour we're going to look at is red. Now you must have seen, and I've showed you as well several times, the amount of red that's in some of the shops. Marks and Spencer's particularly has really gone to town on that tomato red colour. So lots and lots of items for you to choose from. It's quite a bright colour though, so it is quite a sort of standout colour. You have to not mind being sort of noticed. I actually prefer to wear red slightly more toned down. So let me show you a couple of the bits that I have got in that colour, and I'll show you how I like to wear them. So as you may have seen before, I've got my little red light knit jumper from Marks and Spencer's, which I'm finding very useful in outfits. My favourite way to wear this is actually with my white skirt and a lighter coloured jacket, and sort of play down the red a little bit so that this is just a little pop of colour. I also have my red dress from Phase 8, which you may have seen recently. This is the long midi mid-axi sort of length dress with the sheared bodice. This is a really nice, almost like a scarlet red, not quite so orangey as some of the other reds. And again, I've enjoyed wearing that. However, again, I like to tone that down a little bit. So I tend to wear it with a lighter colour, neutral colour jacket, possibly a denim jacket or blazer or something like that. I find that's the best way for me to wear red. And I know some people find it difficult to wear red. They think they can't wear that colour. However, it does depend on the shade. So if you're more of a warmer toned skin person, you probably would be better off with more of the slightly orangey red. Whereas if you're a cool skin tone, you're better off with more of a blue red. So there are different shades to suit different people. There is a true red, which is sort of in the middle between warm and cool, which can suit everybody. And I think actually the dress is probably closest to that shade. It is actually quite flattering. I know several people have commented to me that it actually looks good on me. I thought it might be a little bit too orange for me, but it seems to be quite a nice colour, and I think it would suit a lot of different colours. So that was the Phase 8 dress. As I said, it's actually in their sale at the moment, so a little bit of a bargain. Lovely quality cotton as well. So I also have a couple of items of footwear that have the red on. I have my Sambas, as you've seen probably, which have got the red stripe on, so that's quite nice to pair with some of those items. And I've got the red kitten heels from Marks and Spencer's. So those two items are very useful in just adding a little red accent. You could wear them on their own with maybe just, red nail varnish or red lipstick or something, or you could mix them with one of an item of clothing that's red. I probably wouldn't go full on red with the red dress, red nails, red handbag, red shoes. I think that can be a little bit much. Unless you're a very striking sort of winter type colour, then it might be fine on you, but I tend to play it down a little bit. But there's plenty of choice in the shops of that, either tomato red or scarlet red, and it does add a nice burst of colour for the summer, and it pairs really nice with the neutrals. So when we're talking about these colours, we're not ignoring the neutrals. The neutrals are still there as the backbone of the outfit really, and then the red is just there to add that little bit of extra interest. So just showing you again some of those outfits with the red. You can see I've tended to pair it with possibly the Samba trainers. That looks quite nice with the denim jackets. I've got the cream jackets, and I've also got the ordinary denim jacket there. The blue denim jacket, it looks nice with that colour as well. The dress could be worn on its own. I have worn it on its own with cream accessories. As I said, I wouldn't overdo the red there, but that could look quite nice as a slightly smarter outfit. The little top though, really useful as just a little pop of colour in an otherwise neutral outfit. And if you're wondering about the hair today, this is not quite as curly as I normally have it. I have been using the Dyson Airwrap. However, I have found it's actually affecting the condition of my hair. It's actually making it a bit dry and fly away. So I've given it a rest for a little bit and I'm just putting a few little curls in the bottom there with my curling tongs. So we're having a little bit of rest from that at the moment. I do like the volume that the Dyson gives, but as I said, I want to work on the condition a little bit at the moment. Another colour that might have been on your radar, which is very popular this summer, is butter yellow. In fact, all shades of yellow are appearing. There's some very nice dresses from Nobody's Child, so let me show you a few of those. So we've got the butter yellow tiered Charlie Midi dress. This is 100% cotton, £85. It has the ruched bodice, then it has a tiered skirt, sort of midi length. Doesn't have sleeves, obviously, which might be a disadvantage for some people, and it has a crew neck. You could actually just put a little white cardigan over it if you didn't want your arms on show there. Looks like a really cool, casual and comfortable dress though. Then we've got a yellow printed sleeveless, this is the Flossie midi dress, £89, but the sleeveless version. It's 100% Eco Vero viscose. Really nice pattern there, a darker yellow on a sort of lighter yellow there. As we said, no sleeves. On the other side there on the right, we've got the butter yellow Flossie midi dress with sleeves, which is 100% organic cotton and £89. Then we've got this yellow floral embroidered Sofia midi dress. This is also 100% organic cotton. Full price is actually, I think, about 160, but it's on offer at the moment for £112. But you have got straps here that are wide enough to wear a bra underneath. Again, it's sleeveless, which you might not be quite so happy with, but again, a little bolero, a little cardigan or linen shirt over the top would be perfect. And if you're not keen on a dress in yellow, there are some nice little knitted jumpers in Marks and Spencer's in yellow. This is £22.50, a light knit there, feels nice quality, sleeveless again, but plenty of width to wear a bra underneath. Or we've got a V-neck top here, nice little knitted V-neck jumper, a little bit more expensive, £29.50 because it's a slightly thicker knit. Both are lovely. I actually ordered this one, which is a lovely dress in cotton, and you can see it's quite a long mid-axi length, no tiers there, just a very full skirt, does have pockets, fitted bodice at the top, nice sleeves, not too puffy, which was a big bonus for me, which is why I thought it might be really suitable, and buttons all the way down. It is those little buttons that are a little bit annoying to do up, but lovely dress. Got it in a size 14, tried it on, and it's far too small for me. Fine on the skirt, very big wide skirt, lots of room there. The bust over here, it will not even vaguely do up. There's a gap of about 2 or 3 inches. So unfortunately, the sizing on this one is not good. Usually I'm a 12 in Marks and Spencer's often, or a 14, really more realistically on top I'm a 14. Sometimes have, you know, a little bit of a struggle to do that middle button because I've got a reasonable size bust there. But this one is just not designed for anyone with a bust, even though it's got the darts and things and you think, oh, they've made an allowance for that. I would just say if you're a little bit on the bustier side, probably this fitted style isn't for you. I'm sure I could get away with the 14. In fact, I have got some 12s from Nobody's Child with the slightly elasticated top at the bust. But otherwise, unfortunately, I can't show you it on because actually it's a little bit indecent. I really can't do the buttons up at all. I don't really want to go up to the 16 because, as I say, at the moment the skirt is really full as it is and the sleeves are just nice. I find when you go up to the bigger size, it's just much too bulky overall, and I don't need that space on the hip area really. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to send this back. Now, I think I got it when it was on offer. They had some money off, so I didn't pay full price for it. I'll put the price on the screen. Can't remember offhand what it was, but it was a lovely dress. It is lined as well. If you're more petite on top, lovely summer dress. It is quite a pale lemon colour. Now, the reason I've got this colour is because, again, I'm a bit more of a summer colouring, And really, you can't wear very bright yellows if you're a summer colouring, and you can't wear too much yellowy butter sort of colour. So a sort of more of a lemon yellow is ideal for colourings like mine. If you're an autumnal colour or a winter colour, you can probably get away with the darker yellows. If you're a winter, maybe a nice bright sunshine yellow will look great on you. If you're an autumn, maybe a bit more of a softer mustardy sort of colour yellow might suit you. But for me, that sort of lemon colour is the best, I think. I think that would suit me as a summer colouring person. So there is a shade of yellow for everybody. As I said, some beautiful dresses at Nobody's Child there, and obviously at other places as well. Although Marks and Spencer's hasn't gone quite so full on into the yellow trend, they seem to be sticking more to the red. But some other nice dresses around as well at other places. So that's something to think about. The yellow is definitely a big colour for summer. And one thing to say about this red and yellow, I wouldn't pair the red and the yellow together. So we're not talking about sort of maximalism in terms of lots of bright colours all going on at the same time. I very much would pair these with the lighter neutrals rather than other block colours. It can be a little bit too much. I mean, the red looks nice with cream, beige, white, could also look nice with denim blue. The yellow looks really nice with maybe a warmer brown or a beige. Can look nice with denim blue as well, and white or cream as well. So I certainly wouldn't put those two together. I would make sure that I've got the lighter neutrals still on with those. Another colour that was on trend all through the autumn and winter and is still very much on trend is actually brown. So you will see quite a lot of things like swimwear, bikinis, cover-ups, co-ord sets in browns. I'm not quite such a huge fan of brown, but I have gone into the slight sort of mocha-mousse, slightly lighter, creamier version of brown. For example, I've got this little waistcoat that I wear, which is from Marks and Spencer's last year. I've also got another new in item to show you, which is this shirt from Joules. It's got a brown stripe, and underneath there I've got this little stretch vest top, which was from Next last year, which I think pairs quite nicely with it. So that can give you a nice sort of neutral layer on top, and then that would look really nice with maybe some white jeans, white skirt. So let me show you there. This is how I probably would style this up. So on the left here, I've got it with my cream skirt, my A-line cream skirt from M&S, and some kitten heels, which I think looks nice for an elevated outfit. Slightly more casual on the right, I've got it with a white skirt and some more casual sandals. Really nice colour though, not too dark. Chocolate brown is on trend as well. I might get into that in the winter and autumn next year if that's still on trend, but at the moment I'm just keeping it to the more lighter mocha mousse type colours and going into the beige and things. For example, I also have my beige waistcoat from Marks and Spencer's that I wear quite often over summer dresses. You can see there I wore this last year over a variety of different dresses, but this one, for example. And brown is another colour as well that can suit you in different shades depending on your colouring. So everyone can wear brown. I can look okay in a very dark sort of chocolatey brown in the autumn and winter, but it has to be fairly cool, not too yellowy brown. And in the summer, the sort of cooler beiges and things like that, the taupes, are ideal for me. If you're more of an autumnal colouring, you might like the richer shades of brown. You just have to sort of think about skin tones and choose a brown that's right for you. In the summer, I'm not going to be doing really dark brown, but there are some very nice sets around, co-ord sets and things like that with a brown stripe. As I said, I'm liking that brown striped shirt. I can see myself getting a lot of use out of that. It was actually £32. It was actually from the Joules outlet. So that's another area you can go into. The browns are definitely on trend as well. And I've got one thing to ask you today as well. If you're watching this video and you're not from England, could you let me know where you're from? I was looking at my analytics and I know most of my viewers are in the UK, but I know I do have some viewers from other parts of the world. So it'd be great to know who you are and where you're from. Thank you. Another colour, well, a colour combination that's very on trend, well, not really on trend because it's always on trend, is black and white. So white is obviously a very important summer colour. As you probably know, I've got my white Boden dress, which is really nice. White dresses are very much on trend still, and white skirts. So I've got my white M&S skirt. You've seen me wear that. And I would say with black, something like a little black waistcoat is very useful. This is one from Nobody's Child that I got recently. I also have a black dress. It's this black dress from Nobody's Child, which I find very useful as a sort of base layer. It's got the ruche bodice. It's a long skirt, no tears there, and it's got pockets on the front there. I find this a very useful dress. I can wear it with lots and lots of different things, and nice cool cotton. Now the Nobody's Child dresses, as you know, they do very good fabrics. They're often organic cotton or responsibly sourced cotton, or recycled Ecovero type materials as well they're using, I noticed, or recycled viscose. So they are good on their fabrics and they always feel lovely, but this is a really useful dress. I've got quite a few items of black and white, but we need to think about how to wear them. So again, I think pairing the black and the white is fine, but if you wear black on the bottom and white on the top, it can look a little bit corporate or work-like, or as though you're maybe a waitress or something. It just has that vibe. So a more modern way to wear that is like this, with the whites at the bottom. So I've got the white skirt with the waistcoat on top. That's a much more modern look. So I try to pair white trousers, white skirt with a black top, rather than the other way round. I wouldn't do the black skirt or black trousers and then the white top. It just doesn't look quite so modern. But black and white is perennially on trend, so you can always wear that. And there's lots of nice linen as well in the white and the black that can be paired together. I'm going to be showing you a bit more about that when I do my summer holiday videos, because I have got some things that will come into that category. But black and white is fine for everybody. However, again, it depends. Some people find black next to their face is a little bit too harsh, but in the summer we often have a little bit of a suntan, and again that can sort of change your colouring and it looks a little bit warmer, so you might be able to get away with the black. It might actually work a bit better if you pair that with maybe black sunglasses. So with the black and the white, I would also think about what accessories to put with it. Traditionally we might always have put black or white, you know, handbag and shoes and things, but that can look a little bit much, particularly if you're not sort of a striking winter colouring. It can look a little bit harsh, and you know, all you see is the black and white rather than seeing the person, particularly if you're a little bit fair. So a good way to do that is to use different colour accessories. For example, you could use just a cream bag, cream shoes, or you know, nude sort of colour. That would work quite well. And actually in previous times we wouldn't have put white and cream together, but that's actually quite a modern pairing. That is quite on trend. So don't feel you can only use a white bag with that. You know, cream, neutral colours. Tan would also look quite nice. Maybe a little bit of blue denim as well added into the mix. So I would break up that black and white so it's not quite such a harsh contrast. You're just adding something a little bit softer in there to make the outfit sort of feel pulled together and not overly striking in terms of, you know, you can still see the person. You're not just looking at this black and white vivid contrast. So let me know what you think about these colours. Are you keen on the vibrant red or the yellow, or are you more of a neutral person still, or do you like the black and white? What's your opinion? Have you been buying any of these colours? Have you noticed them around on people or in the shops? I think this is going to be particularly key for our holiday wardrobes and things. You will see a lot of these colours on the beach and around the pool and things. So yeah, be interested to have your opinion on that. Let me know. And thank you very much for watching the video, particularly if you've got to the end of the video. Thank you for sticking with it. Hopefully next week we'll be back to some nicer weather and I'll be able to talk to you more about holiday wardrobes and things. I am due to go away in another month or so, so I'm going to be preparing for that, thinking about what things to take. So perhaps you can help me with your opinions on that. So once again, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye.